Hi knitters, welcome to PJKnits. My name's Penny, I live in Central Illinois, and I'm a knitter, a blogger, and a YouTube podcaster. And this is my journal of knitting and other things, mostly knitting. Welcome. I wanted to get on today, the last day of November in 2023, because tomorrow starts Advent. Tomorrow starts vlogs that people will be doing on YouTube, and there'll be a lot of things, in the next month clamoring for your attention. And so I just wanted to get on today for a little bit and talk to you about a couple of things, about Advents and some cowls from my wardrobe. The weather, let's start with that. It's Thursday, November 30th. It is going to be 53-ish today, so I might get out there and just take a little bit of a walk later this afternoon when it hits 50s. The next few days it's going to be in the 40s. It's supposed to get cloudy, maybe some rain tonight, tomorrow. So not the best of December days, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with 40s. We had a cold spell last week, and 40, 50s, 40-ish, I'm good with that. So that's the weather report. Grab your cuppa, grab your knitting, and let's talk about some knitting. Oh, it tastes so good. By the way, somehow I got turned on to, for just the holiday season, from the donut shop, this peppermint bark coffee for my Keurig. I think I'm going to be drinking a lot of this, and the peppermint mocha creamer from Nestle. I've got some in my refrigerator. I kind of like at some point during the day to have like just a cup of peppermint coffee with the peppermint mocha creamer. It's pretty good. I love the Starbucks one, but you can only drink so much of that, right? Or buy so much of that over the course of the season. I still love my Bourbon Trace, both the coffee and the creamer. Those are like for late afternoons during the holiday season. But anyway, grab a cuppa. That's what I'm drinking today in one of my older Snoopy mugs. I'm not even sure where I got it. I've had it for some time. I've had a collection, and I love to bring them out during the holidays. I finally did all of my decorating and some cleaning. I started Sunday, took me some of Monday, most of Monday, and then into Tuesday I finished up on all the levels, and I have 1, 2, 3 trees in separate rooms right now, and just to enjoy them. I enjoy so much once you get all that pre-holiday cleaning done and the decorations all up. It's a little bit of work as we get older, and for me, I have to really, for the most part, either bring it down or bring it up. So that's why it takes a few days, and I do some deep cleaning during that time, and then turn around. I'll clean in a couple of weeks, dust every week, and vacuum and things like that. Right before the holidays, I'll do a full cleaning, and then after the holidays, almost after they're over with, I'm done. I'm done, and I'm putting it away, and that takes a couple of days as well, and I do it kind of sort of by rooms. This year I'm going to take pictures because I could not remember last year what I did with everything. I know that I decorated because I felt like it. Probably not to the extent that I did this year, but I know that I did. So I want to keep, I'm going to take some pictures, put it on a file on my computer so I know next year what I did with everything and where I put it. So that's what I have been doing in the last few days. So let's get started with some stuff. I don't know about you all, but I love the Christmas vlogs, and I can't wait for them to start tomorrow. Usually, I used to watch them at night, late at night. But now I think probably my thought process will be to watch them in the early mornings, because I get up really early. I was up 4:30 this morning. When I wake up, I get up. I did wake up about 3:15 and this morning and thought it's too early, go back to bed. So I did, but 4:30 I was wide awake and up watching podcasts. So I think that's what I'll be doing. And I'll be in next episode, maybe I'll share some of those with you. I thought about doing a vlog myself, but I'm like, everybody else does it so much better than I possibly could. And so I'm just not into it, but I'm hoping during the course of December to do some videos more often in midweek or whatever, but one never knows. So stay tuned. Maybe there'll be some shorter episodes, maybe not, maybe there'll be longer episodes, but I can't wait for the vlogs. If you have your must-watch vlogs for the holiday season, would you comment below? Because I do appreciate being turned on to new ones that may not show up on my feed. And I will put some in the show notes. Probably will not get the show notes down below until Sunday night. Monday I'm going to be with family, so I won't have a chance to really do that much with the show notes. But I will put some of mine that I'll be watching in the show notes below, and I hope that you will comment with some and turn us all on, turn our community all on to some new vlogs for the holiday season. I want to share Advents with you to start with. Now this year I did not buy any Advents. I still have one from last year that I cannot decide what to do with. It's in a sparkle base. And so I just thought I'm just not going to buy any this year. Now, am I having buyer's remorse for a couple that I saw Irene show on 3-Ply Podcast a couple of days ago? Yes, because those sock ones were fantastic. Yeah, I'm having some remorse that I didn't do one of those. But I have enough knitting to keep me busy during the Advent season, so I did not buy any. But what I do want to share with you is the Advents that, well, I shouldn't say that. I did buy one that I'll show you secondly. First up, this is one that I won last year from the Grocery Girls when they did their 10, 12 days of things on Instagram. I won one of the days, and it was a Firefly Notes stitch marker Advent calendar, and it came after Advent had started, and I purposely put it away in my gift cabinet so that I would have it to bring out this year. And so this year I am going to open up the Firefly Notes stitch marker Advent calendar, and I'm super stoked about last year's Advent on this and using it for this year, and I'll show you why. So I'm so excited about that. And I'll be sharing on Instagram every day of my openings, which each one I open. The one that I did buy was the Door County Coffee. Last year, my friend Brenda gifted it to me for my birthday. And this year I stalked the website, and so I bought one for myself. Door County Coffee. And this is one a day, and it is a full pot each day, and they're all different flavors. So this is going to be my early morning coffee, the Door County Coffee. That's the one that I bought, and I will use for sure. And then the last one that I have, I am a part of 3 ladies and me, and this is my second year doing that. Advent with them, Rachel and Suzanne and Peggy. We all received 6 days, particular days in December, and our task was to wind 6 minis in fingering weight each day of those 6 days, and then gift them to all the other 3, and then use our the 4th person, mine, as the 24 Advents. Okay, does that make sense? Each one of us did 6 for everybody else. So we did a total of 24. This year I was better on my game, I think, and they're all the same. And I'm going to share what my box looks like that I put it into, but I'm not opening it because I left mine unwrapped in here. So starting tomorrow, I will open one, and it's in my season's greeting, winter greetings Paris box that I received some years ago from a friend with some gifties in it. And so all of my 24 minis are in here, and I will start opening those up tomorrow. Now, what is happening, what I am doing with my minis each day is I am putting it into my mitered square blanket. And I'll pull this blanket out because I want to talk about this blanket for just a little bit, and I'm going to look at my notes here so that I get all the information right. The pattern is called Memory Blanket, and it's by Georgie Nicolson. It was a free pattern on Ravelry. I started it probably, I want to say, 2016, 2017, somewhere in there. It's been going for a few years. I was going to check that out, and I did not. I have been doing, what I will do for Advent is I will do a square a day. So every day I will open one of my minis from my box, and then I will put it into my Advent, into my blanket as part of the Advent. And which means I'll do 24 new squares. And then it is my intention at the end of 2023-ish, give or take a week, is to be finished with this blanket, add the final row for whatever I need, and be done with this blanket because it has been going on for quite some time. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm PJKnits on Instagram, you'll see that I've been doing throughout the year, I do one square every Sunday at least. Now, I started out really good in 2023 doing 2 and 3, and that quickly ended, and I've only been doing one. So each day in December, I will do a square, and then I will finish this out. My squares are 3.5 inch square, for those of you who want to know. What I will do is I will take one of my Firefly Notes progress keepers, and each day that I complete a square, I'm going to put that corresponding day's progress keeper in there, just to kind of let me know where I started and then where the 24 ended. I am using a size 3 signature needle, and a year ago I had 209 squares. So if you add 52 at least so far, because I did extra squares at the start of the year, we're probably looking at somewhere at 300 squares when I'm done. So each day a new square will be put into it. This one it's huge. It's so huge that when on Sundays when I'm sitting in my chair knitting on it and have my feet up, it covers my feet and I can knit on it up here. So I'm super excited to be nearing the end of this. I don't know what the new year will bring. I have a habitation throw that I might get back at. I just don't know. I don't know that I'm going to have any particular thoughts right now. We'll have to see. What I did do over the course of the year is each time there was the end of the month and I finished a group of Sundays, I would put these markers in here. So I can go back right now, this progress keeper, go back and I can tell, where June was at, July, August. I put one on each year, each week, each month. Slow down, breathe. Everybody take a sip of coffee, okay? I don't have to rush today, really. But anyway, let's see if I can find it. So what I did last year, the first square of 2023, I put this really cool progress keeper in there that was part of the group of 4 ladies, Advents from last year. So I know that that's where I started the very first Sunday. And that's another thing, what we did with this on the 25th, you gifted everybody a gift about $10, all wrapped up and to be opened on Christmas morning. And mine are underneath my tree now, which is so much fun because I have something to look forward to when I wake up on on Christmas morning, I have gifties to open, and that really, I look forward to that just like any kid would. But anyway, here's where I started, and what I did is I went across. So this would be, gosh, let's see, widthwise? Yeah, widthwise. Now, my intention at one time was to do like a queen size, and I threw it on my bed last year, and it was like, there's no way this is going to make queen size. But what I found is that it is so comfy when I'm knitting on it that I want to wrap up in this. I'm going to take it probably upstairs and put it in my room, and that's where I'm going to sit and cover up during the winter with it. And so you can see a little bit, this is what I did last year so far. And it looks to be 3 rows across. And some of these are from PYS. Some of them are gifts from others after Christmas. A lot of people would give me their leftovers. And I've cultivated a bag, an Aldi bag of leftovers. And I'm just going to put this out here to you, my faithful viewers. And I don't know how many yards or grams are in each of those, but if any of you want to take my bag, the whole bag, off of my out of my PYS room, feel free to contact me, and I will donate them to you. Otherwise, I think I'll just set them aside and just keep using them for whatever. But anyway, I have a whole bag of them, and first come, first serve, of course. And there's all sorts of colors, darks and lights and purples and blues and reds, and not a whole lot of reds, because the reds I put into something else, a different thought process, and I'll share with that in future episodes. But anyway, this is really what I'm going to be doing for Advent. I have my Advent blanket that I will continue to work on while drinking coffee every morning, while watching vlogs, and while putting a progress keeper in there as well. So that's really my Advents that I am doing. I wonder, what Advents am I missing out on? Again, if you want to comment on that below, let me know what Advents you're getting that you think that I really need to look at for next year, because who knows? I won't be doing the mitered square, so one never knows what next year's will bring. One of the things that I wanted to share with you today, and I wonder, are you doing holiday knitting? Now, this is the kiss of death when I say I'm not really doing holiday knitting. I have a lot of knitting that I want to do for myself. So I'm not planning on finishing anything knit-wise for anybody. One never knows where it will take me, but that is my plan. And again, you never know when somebody's going to ask for something. But keeping in mind, we have 24 days before Christmas, right? Not including Christmas Day. So I'm just saying, wow, we turn the calendar and like it's here, guys. When you look at the calendar and you think, oh my gosh, there's so much to do. That's why I want to be knitting for myself. But one of the things I wanted to share with you this episode is cowls, and cowls from my wardrobe. I have a collection of them. If you want to know more information on cowls that I've knit, I hope that you'll head out to my Ravelry project page, which is PJKnits 1, and check those out. In 2019 was our last Girls Holiday Bash, what we called at work. And because we knew that that was going to be the last time that my two friends and I did that, we had been doing it for many years. We took over from somebody, and there was a lot of work to it. We knew probably in 2018, at the beginning or right after 2017, that we were going to do maybe only 2 more, because I was going to be retiring and, life. And the point here being is many years ago, I knit scads of scarves. And that was the giveaway, we always gave like a little giveaway to everybody at the end of the night, a little present that they could unwrap. And I did scarves. Of course, it was a much lesser amount of people then. So fast forward to our last year, we decided in 2019 that I would do scarves and cowls and whatever. So if you check my project page on Ravelry, you will see all of the cowls and small shoulder shawls and everything that I did that year for these giveaways. So there's a lot more cowls that I've been knitting out there over the course of the last few years than what I'm going to show you today. But I just wanted to share some of them with you that are in my wardrobe that I have knit that are just for me. The first one is Colorshift by Carina Spencer. That's what I'm wearing now. And I have talked about this one before. This one I am keeping for myself. And I love this one. And I've got it kind of tucked in right now. But I love that it comes down. This is a pay-for pattern. I have knit this one for me out of PYS. And what I would do I think on my next one, for me, I want to make it longer because this is so comfy cozy to wear right now. It's perfect just sitting here, keeping my arms warm. And I think even throwing it over the jammies at nighttime, right? So I love it. It uses 4 skeins of yarn, fingering weight yarn. And I might go, this one I've talked about before, I would go a little bit longer for sure, and more going further down. Now, you can see that this is pretty, when we look at this off, I would like to have had a little bit more orange at the end. I would have liked to have carried that a little bit through, but I really do, really do love this one. Now that is the Colorshift. This one is the second one that I did, and this I've shown before. This one is a gift that I'm going to wrap up, and I really kind of liked the way this one went as well. And I did not go as long on that either because it's for a shorter, smaller person. But I liked the way this one, the gradient kind of, how I made the gradient, and more of how it was not so stark. I think very soft. I don't necessarily know that it's soft, but a more pleasant, not so stark color changes. And I've gotten this first one, and these are all, again, from my stash. This was from a sweater that I did, and this is paired with a gray. And then also then you add another color in the next one. Also the gray's in there, and then a little bit deeper blue. And then you do that. I added a green here. This was Cousteau. And then finally a fourth one. Finally, this one was 2 and 2, was the 2 and 2 together. So I like the way this transitioned. That's the word I was looking for. Transitioned a little bit better than mine, but I think it's I like it very much. I like both of them. So that's the Colorshift, and uses a lot of your stashed yarn, your fingering weight yarns, if you're so inclined. Check it out. The next one, again, I've shown this before, but I think this is a wonderful little cowl that if you are doing some Christmas gift knitting, that you definitely can get done very quickly. This is the Row by Row sampler cowl. It's by Irene Designs of 3-Ply Podcast. I knit mine out of Sunday Knits Eden 3-Ply, which is a sport weight on a size 4 and 5 needle. This one's very soft, and when I do this again, I want to make this in a little bit heavier yarn because I think it will come longer, and maybe do a couple extra repeats in it. But I love this one, keeping up and around the neck. There you go. And you can knit this out of almost anything, and like I said, you can do it fairly quickly. I just loved the texture in it, and I would just like for it to be in a little bit heavier yarn for the next one. So maybe there's an alpaca out there that definitely going to make another one of those, and a great gift knit if you're so inclined to do a gift knit right now. The next one is called the Cowl. Now I purchased the yarn for this this is 2023, 2022. Yeah, 2022 at Elgin Knitworks. And when I bought the yarn, they gave me the pattern free. It's the Cowl. I don't find it on Ravelry at all, but it's a mohair. It's Rico Design Essentials Super Kid Mohair Silk Print. It was a print. And then the solid sock weight yarn was Direful Yarns Slasher Sock. And unfortunately, she's no longer dyeing, but you could use a print mohair and a solid sock yarn, or you can use a solid mohair and a print sock yarn and make the same thing. And I just knit till I was almost out of the yarn. It is on a size 8 needle, and this was a fun knit as well. It was nice and soft. This was, I don't know, and you could cast on what, I don't know, 100, 150 stitches, less than that, and make the same thing. But I love this cowl for definitely, and I will wear it this winter a lot. It's a nice comfy cowl. I've shown this one before. And the nice thing about it is if you're out shopping and all of a sudden you walk out, if you're outside malls like we have, and you get a little chilly, you can just throw it over your head. You got a little snood and you're walking out, and I just think it's so warm and it feels so good and soft. So definitely, and a wonderful gift if you want to do a gift knit quick. Like I said, probably could cast on mine. It's about 120 stitches, I think, or 130, and you just knit until you're done. And there's nothing to it. It's just a super, super fun. And as you can see how it goes, and the print, the Rico Designs print does that. So, you know, you could probably give Elgin Knitworks a call and find out if they still have that Rico, or check other places as well. But I just love this one. It would make a nice little muffler too. Keep your hands warm. Dual duty, you know, we're all about that. So that's called the Cowl. Next up is Chelsea's Cowl. This is a free pattern. Cathy from what used to be the Knot House, this was one of her designs. It's still out on Ravelry. It's free. I used Big Sky mohair from PYS in Ice Castle, and then the sock weight yarn is from the Alpaca Yarn Company. It's Paca Peds in Caribbean Chocolate, and it was a gift. Well, this one has, and again, check out the pattern. I love it. It used my mohair up. Again, Chelsea's Cowl, another wonderful one to just get up and around your head. I love this. Well, it's in my colors, and chocolate too, to boot, right? So check that one out. It used 330 yards of each of the yarns about, and it was done on a size 4 needle. So it has some fun texture at the end, and it does one of these, okay? So it comes down over. As you can see, well, let's go that way. Chelsea's Cowl, and I love that one. I love the yarns, and I love the pattern, and it was a nice free one. Now, the next two that I'm going to show you is called Getting Warmer, and it was at one time a free pattern from Espace Tricot when Melissa and Lisa had the shop. Now, since the new ladies have finally have taken over the shop, they have, I think what happened is they became recipients of all of these patterns. And what I heard, I'm fairly certain I heard on one of their podcasts early on, was that they were going to start cultivating these and creating those free patterns that once were free into groups, because they felt, I think, that since it was under this Fast Tricot name and that they were having to do pattern support sometimes on these, that they were going to bundle them together and kind of get them all together and then make them pay for patterns. So these are now pay for patterns. They are no longer free. But I want to say, oh yeah, these two are in a ebook, I believe. It's called 10 Circular Yokes, and it's about $7. So there's some other cool things in there if you're so inclined, but no longer free, but still a nice pattern. First one that I did ever, and this is Woolfolk Luft. This is what it was originally created for. Yeah, the colorway is L4, and it took 3 skeins on a size 10 needle. Now this one is larger than the one that I am going to show you secondly. And you know, this was kind of like the beginning of shrugs, guys. These guys were back in the day. And again, another one that kind of, it's nice and cozy, comfy cozy, come down over the arms and has some shaping in it. And definitely a warm one, keeps up around the neck, and you could fold it down as well, you know, if you were so, but again, just a nice one if you're sitting around, you know, during the holidays to pop something over just to keep your shoulders warm, because I know when you have people over, you know, it gets a little warm in your house and you turn the heat down maybe a little bit, and so this would be perfect just to kind of throw over, you know, your shoulders. So again, all of these are on my project page on Ravelry. And the second one that I knit, this one I bought the yarn a couple of years ago from my local yarn shop, no longer available, but both of these you could use any of those blown yarns with. And that cantata that I bought from Cascade that I made my turtle dove cardi out of, would be perfect for one of these. This one was done out of O by Haiku, so if you have any of that in your PYS, you could use it. And again, you know that I knit it because of the color. And this one's I think I want to say this one feels like it's a little bit smaller, which requires taking the glasses off. This is a little bit more snugger than the other one, but still a nice warm one as well. Guess I ought to see it with, there we go. And again, you could certainly fold this down, or you could cut this neck down as well. So, but this is part of that circular yoke book. It's not a physical book, but you can get it on Ravelry for $7. So it's a nice pattern as well if you want something different to knit on. And again, has these decreases here. It was a fun knit. I totally enjoyed working on this one as well. But if you have blown yarns, definitely pull those out. You can use those for sure. The next one I have knit a couple of these out of, and I am looking to knit another one for me. This is called the Friend to Friend Shrug by Leslie Friend. I've talked about it before. My second one that I knit out of the actual yarn, showed you that one too, out of the Hue Plus Me. I liked the second one that I did because the yarn is a little bit more substantial. That's what I liked about it. This was the first one as soon as I got the pattern that I decided I wanted to do. And I did this out of Loops Love Chunky on a size 10 needle. I did the size 3. And the other thing I liked about the Hue Plus Me yarn is that because it was so substantial, the stitches held closer together, and I think it'll be a little bit warmer. My alpaca one is very loose. I had trouble, you know, getting gauge, so I had to go down needle size, but I love it because it's so super soft. but I would like to have one that's, again, for me, that's a little bit longer. But I do love this. This one really feels good in an alpaca. You know, I'm not complaining as much as I just love it. And Leslie had a great idea on Instagram recently. One of the things that she's doing on her new ones is she's adding a little bit of an embroidery, but she added a brooch, and I have some really cool brooches. One of them, I have a couple of them that my aunt who was in her 90s, who just passed away in October, left to me before she passed away. She gave them to her daughter for me. So I think a lovely brooch on this. I also have a snowflake brooch that would be fun to put on it for the holidays in a blue. So I think that's a super idea to put a brooch on your cowls. Any of these, you could put a brooch on that just to liven it up a little bit and give you a little festive type thing. So friend to friend, I love this. Leslie is so generous. When she comes out with patterns in the beginning, and you watch her podcast, she gives them away free in the first week, and so she's been so generous and lovely, and she just seems to be such a lovely person. And I don't know her, but I watch her. So anyway, that is friend to friend, and as I said, I had done one in the original yarn that she had knitted out of, and it's very economical. Something that you could definitely do in a weekend, very, very quick knit, because it's on a large needle. So mine about 200 in 200, no. Let's see. For the Hue Plus Me, it took me just shy of 3. So whatever that is in yardages, and again, it's on my project page on Ravelry. This one is called Beach Pebbles Dotted Swiss Cowl. This one I purchased the yarn a couple of years ago from my local yarn shop, but I still see out there on Ravelry that it's available. And the pattern is F948 Cowl. It is a free pattern on the Plymouth Yarn Design Studio. I use 2 skeins of Plymouth Yarn Beach Pebbles on a size 8 needle, and it's just a super, super quick knit, fun. This is one that I would put on today as I go out walking, just to keep something around my neck. It is not wool. I do believe it's cotton, but it's got these little bumps in it, and it's just fun to wear over a black turtleneck too. And again, this was originally from my local yarn shop. And it just comes up. I wore it a lot last spring and last winter before it gets super chilly outside to wear. So it's a fun, and again, can you just not see that right over a black turtleneck as well? Or a red turtleneck, whatever. So fun. And one of the last ones that I'm going to share with you today was a gift. I did not knit it. A few years back, a group of us were doing what we called Knitmas, and we would knit and gift people knitted gifts after Christmas, like in February, along with a little goodie box, so that you didn't have to be worrying about knitting it in December. And the last one that I got from the exchange was from my friend Becky, and this is Land of Sweets by Helen Stewart. I'm going to put it on right. And this one I wear a lot in the wintertime, up and around. And she picked out the colors perfectly for me. Helen Stewart pattern, and when she gifted it to me, she told me exactly what the yarns were. Super, super fun. And we'll show you that. And so I love this one. This is a nice one to wear in the winter time. And it's super soft. And easy, fairly easy to knit up. You can use PYS on that, and gives you some texture, some things to look forward to as you knit along. So another really nice gift knit for sure if you're so inclined. The last one that I'm not going to show you because I have done nothing more onto it, but it is the Burra Cowl. And I just want to remind you that at the end of the year, we will be done with the Burra Cowl. And I had mine out on a Zoom a couple of weeks ago, last week, I think. And I like it. I like it more. I just need to sit down and make myself knit on it. There's so many other things that I want to knit on. And we'll talk about those in future episodes. But Burra Cowl coming to close December 30th. We will probably in the new year, please post yours by, I don't know, about 2nd or let's say, please post your finished project by the 2nd of January, and we will do a little something for the winner. But please post. It is hashtag PJKnits Burra Cowl, and there's also a hashtag Burra Cowl 2023 on Instagram. So please post and let us know by the 2nd-ish so that we can draw somebody for a prize. So I have cowls, I have cowl patterns, I have more cowls I want to do, but there's so many sweaters that are calling me. So, mail call. Mail call. Couple of things I wanted to share with you. The latest Pompom Magazine, Winter 2023. I bought this at my local yarn shop, Fiber Universe, and it has some great sweaters in it. And I truly looked at this issue. I think when you discover that something's no longer going to be in print or no longer going to be in business, you kind of look at it even closer. And I'm kind of like a hit and miss on Pompom Magazine. And I am on the Lina sometimes too. I want to see what's in there, and I want to make sure that I'm getting bang for my buck, because they're not cheap magazines. What I found in this particular Pompom Magazine monochrome, I'm impressed with not just the patterns but the photography in this, and it seems like those things just like made me say wow, and I wanted this. So this is the latest issue. I love this cover sweater. I love it. There's a lot of them that I like in here, that I have possibilities, and maybe it's just where I'm going in my knitting. Here's another view of this in another color. I can see me knitting those things. There's a hat. I'm just kind of impressed. I am totally impressed with the photography in keeping with the monochrome look. Look at this. I mean, I think this is like spot on, Pompom. I mean, this is classy, very classy, I think. So I was so super, super impressed with this magazine and the things that are in it that make me want to knit out of it, and just in general. And there is some stories in here. They have on Uruguay, Return to Uruguay. There's socks, there's sweaters, there's hats, there's a scarf that I will not knit but is really super fun. There is a skirt. There's mitts and mittens. I'm just super, super impressed. I'm impressed with this one. I'm pretty sure that it's slip stitches that has some great possibilities. So kudos to Pompom. You know, this may be second to the last issue, but I'm loving it. I am totally loving it. I think you're spot on here, and I'm sad that every issue isn't like this, or that you won't be, you know. But again, if they need us to, you know, buy it, and I don't buy every one of them, but just the ones, and this to me was well worth my dollars that I put out to it. My last mail call is I finally bought some Make It Tweed from Around the Table Yarns, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I was buying the Grand Shetland books for Debbie and I, And to get free shipping, I believe, you had to have over a certain amount. And so I've been wanting this for some time. So I bought 3 skeins of this that I'm going to hold with something. And I don't know what yet, but that's in the future. So those are my mail calls. I do have some mail calls coming. I am super stoked about what's coming. Yes, I bought some Holst yarn. Yes, I bought a chip bag. Yes, we'll show those when they show up. I'm so excited about my mail call to come, and they're for me. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to me. So I'm excited to share, and I will share those with you when next time we meet. WIP update. I really only have one that I want to show you. This is my sea salt. I am what I've said on Body Island. That's all I have to do is finish the body, and it seems like I work on this a lot. And I've only been knitting on it other than my mitered square blanket. So I don't know why I'm not further along, but it's coming along. Here we are. I am doing helical knitting, and this will all block out when I'm done. It's just that it's on a small, circumference right now. This is where we were a week ago. It has my little progress keeper in there. So this is how far I've come, and I'm doing the decreases right now. So I'm taking this with me when I go to see family. I won't have a whole lot of knitting time, but I'm using every minute that I have because I want to be done with it. I have other sweaters that I want to be. Are you getting tired of me saying that? I have other sweaters that I want to be knitting on. There's so many things out there, and I need, or either that or I need a longer winter season. And I know that some of you are saying no, but to get everything done, I need a longer winter season. And well, we do have that sometimes here. Well into the spring, I'm cold-blooded. I will be wearing my knits for sure. So anyway, I have just something a couple things I want to share with you in the end. I don't know how often I'll come back in December. My plan is to come back maybe once a week, maybe a little bit more than that. Less than that. We'll see just what I have to talk about. I don't want to get on and just ramble as I am now, but anyway, for a short episode, this one's going, 45, 47 minutes, so... Anyway, I want to remind you of the Hap-Along that will start on January 1st. I am still trying to figure out what I want to knit on, which one. I think I'm going to use my leftovers or my 3 greens and all of that that I showed you from the Lost City Knits, that's discontinued yarn that I've had for some time. I think that green is going to be the center of that. I have not picked out my pattern yet. There are so many patterns out there, as Sarah discovered on Tuesday night. There's a lot of cool haps out there. Half haps with lace, with ones that are called haps that are like a Ruana type, from the Book of Haps of Kate Davies. So there's so much out there for sure as in the realm of haps. So we'll talk about more. Hopefully I can figure out what mine wants to be as well. But that will be casting on January 1st. And we will be doing a 6 p.m. Central Time, Illinois time, Zoom for that. Cast on. You can cast on anytime during the day, be kind of a knitting of the haps. And again, if you are so inclined, you can come late. If you're one of those days is your working day, or you have family or whatever. That is what we're tentatively planning on, is the 1st of January, unless something comes out. We do our Zooms every Saturday. This Saturday I won't be there, but thank you, Marie, again for co-hosting with me and being there when I can't. I so appreciate that very, very much. I have something I want to share from The Power of Knitting. I read this last year. Joyce, she turned me on to this book, and I just had a little something that I wanted to share with you from it, because I thought it was very, very appropriate given the hap. and the hat talk that we were having. In this particular piece that I'm going to read to you here, the author was on an Iraq assignment, and they were in the evening. They were in a tent or whatever, and there were blankets that seemed to be, and I don't know if they were woven or knitted. I can't recall that. But she questioned the ladies that were in the group, and she said, wanted to know those blankets. They were so soft and comfy, and the lady responded that it was the yarn that was used was plucked by hand from the back of the neck of the sheep, which was very finely spun, and so that's what was giving it its softness. So what she said here was that these were indoor blankets, and as they said, they had been plucked by hand from the backs of the sheep's neck, where the texture of the wool was very fine. She says, years later in Unst, Shetland, the most northerly of the inhabited Shetland Islands, I came across a similar technique. Lace shawls, generally given as a wedding gift, are knit with wool, hand-plucked from the necks of the sheep and very finely spun. The knitting stitches are so tiny that the entire shawl can pass through the wedding ring. The wool I saw in Iraq was less fine but equally light. So I think that was so interesting, in keeping with the fact that we're going to be doing a hap shawl out of very soft yarns, or yarns that are very woolly, that are from sheep, Shetland sheep, or other fibers that you just so desire. But I just thought it was very appropriate that I wanted to share that with you, because we're going to be doing the hap one. And my love for really soft yarn when it comes to my haps. I love the alpaca, and that's why I'm so drawn to that. But I also love the Shetland spindrift, because seriously, after that year in knitting camp and putting that on, after all those years of people, using it and fondling it, it was softer than I really was surprised how soft it was. So, and again, on my Burra Cowl, I discovered that too, that after it was steamed, I really liked the feel of it. For sure. Okay. Oh, one last thing, I guess it's not one last thing, but my friend Kendra gave me this tin, and so it sits next to my knitting table, and it has all my little knitting accessories in it, my scissors and my tape measures, and it's so fun just to sit it next to my table there, in keeping with my holiday decorating. So thanks, Kendra, and I have some stitch markers and things like that, very, very much handy, but put away from little children who might want to see what grandma's got, but it's a little difficult to get the tin lid off. But I thought that was super, super fun. So my knitting accessories are sitting in there. Where can you find me, everybody? I am PJKnits on Instagram. I am PJKnits on Ravelry. I have a blog that is www.pjknits.blogspot.com. And my email address is pjknitspodcast@gmail.com. You can get a hold of me in any of those places. I tend to do Instagram more than anything, and I'm going to try in December at least to be better about doing my blog. And if you would do me a favor, like this video, subscribe, comment below. That really helps get me up to the recommendations, and it's kind of fun just to see that. And it's fun to interact with everyone. And I do so appreciate all of you for tuning in. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. One of the things I just want to share with you at the end here. This Sunday is the first Sunday in Advent for those who celebrate, and it is hope. And so what I'm just going to say is, this is my hope for our community, my hope for our world, my hope for making new friends during this time, My hope that you are all healthy and have a healthy holiday season as well. I have hope for your knitting, and I hope that you will come back next time. Thank you so very much. I can't say that enough in signing out. So I will catch you on the purl side. Enjoy your knitting, and we'll see you later. Bye.